That's a set play off the backboard.
What a beauty. Johnson bounces it to Bird.
That was a set play. Low post position, Dennis Rodman fighting him for position. DJ off the glass. Larry Bird right there for the pass, and he scores. That's a set play, and they executed it to perfection.
Lambeer into Dantley. Past Parrish. Parrish gets him from behind.
Game 5 of the 1987 Eastern Conference Finals is one of the most famous games in NBA history. The Celtics trailed by 1 point, 107-106, with only 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Detroit had possession and just needed to inbound cleanly to secure the win. Isaiah Thomas tried to make a quick inbound pass from the sideline. Larry Bird anticipated it, swooped in for the steal, and in one motion saved the ball from going out of bounds. Bird immediately dished to Dennis Johnson, who cut to the basket and laid it in with 1 second remaining. The Garden erupted, and the Celtics pulled off one of the greatest steals and finishes in playoff history. Larry Bird, 36 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists, and of course the steal. Dennis Johnson, 18 points, including the game-winning layup. Isaiah Thomas, 17 points, 11 assists, but remembered most for the late turnover. The Bird steal instantly became an all-time NBA highlight, symbolizing hustle, anticipation, and basketball IQ. Boston took a 3-2 series lead, eventually winning in Game 7.
Boston leading 4-2.
McHale playing Dantley. AD's going to take it on the drive.
Bird cut off the drive, forced a bad shot from Dantley. Ainge to McHale. And he'll go to the line.
Well, offense off the defensive rebound. Danny Ainge penetrating, finding Kevin McHale running the floor. Something the Celtics did not happen in Detroit. Now, to say that Boston wants to get in a half-court game, that is true, but they will also pick their spots, and their big men know when to run out. Kevin McHale and Robin's second timeout to try to stop this run.
The feed to Dennis Johnson down low. He doesn't get it to fall, but he's fouled. The give and go to Bird on the side, and the 6'4" Dennis Johnson got posted low.
Well, Dennis Johnson with a nice cut. You're going to see Dumars leading the double. Mahorn was slow rotating over to pick up the cutting Dennis Johnson. And when you double Bird, your rotation defensively has to be very quick because DJ is big enough and strong enough that he can score inside once he receives it.
There's a symbol of the feelings of a lot of the fans here at the Boston Garden. Boxing gloves. It's been a rough, classic Eastern Conference Finals. McHale stayed, the shot clock to 3, to 2. Thomas driving, scoring, and he'll go to the line. An unbelievable play by Isaiah Thomas.
That was spectacular. If you could see the angle that I had, that a big man jumped out on Isaiah Thomas to cut him off, and he takes it behind his back. Watch Isaiah now. Parrish is going to step out to help on the screen. And watch this. Boom, between the legs, and he takes it down the lane, trips, and takes it to the hoop. That was a big bucket by Isaiah Thomas.
Celtics get back quickly. Larry Bird was already at the other end. McHale moving well and scoring on the baseline. McHale looking aimed, agile with a sore ankle. 11-4. Dumars answers. Parrish kept it alive. Bird triggers the break. Charge on Danny Ainge. To Lambeer, and they find the open Dumars from 18. Three-pointer, Danny Ainge. Dantley driving. Blocked by Parrish. Isaiah Thomas came up with a loose ball and put it in. Lambeer scoring very well early. Parrish over Mahorn.
Great hustle by Lambeer.
Dantley. And this series is tied at 2. Bird inside. Left-hand layup over Dantley.
Celtics, they stay tough. It's only a 5-point game.
Shot clock to 10. Bird from the perimeter. Didn't get the bounce. Out of bounds. It'll belong to Beer. Isaiah Thomas has to beat Dennis Johnson. Gives to Mahorn for the jam.
And he's got to look to score. He just can't look to play defense.
What a move by McHale. P5. Dantley blows right past McHale. No.
Right past him on the baseline.
He calls it his Dorothy Hamill move. Parrish with 3 men hanging on him.
They feel like that's a good matchup for them.
Detroit goes over there, isolates, and then reverses it. Dumars from the perimeter. Boston by 3. Bird gets it down to McHale. The turnaround on the baseline. Yes.
Nice job.
Here from the perimeter. Got the roll to 5. That's been seesawing from 5 to 3 since. Nice lob to Dantley.
What's in their offense right now?
Ainge for 3. The second three-pointer of the first quarter for Danny Ainge. Again, they get it to Thomas. Over to Vinnie Johnson. The no man's land. Got back out of there. Shot clock to 10. The double team on Thomas. What a pass. Shot clock to 4. Vinnie Johnson. Both times Detroit's...
It might be the difference of him gaining some more confidence and being ready to play here in a big ball game.
Certainly changing Boston's thinking about the future with the point guard. Sally comes down on Bird. Very aggressively, Sally came out there. Bird faked him right into him. That's the second on John Sally, the rookie from Georgia Tech, who's played very well and definitely brought the shot block back to the Detroit Pistons. He had more block shots this year than any Piston since the 78-79 season. And the other rookie, Dennis Rodman's about to check in as Dantley is. Well, I thought Dantley was going to get a rest. They're taking Sally out.
It'll be very interesting to watch here. Dennis Rodman is a very enthusiastic, hyper player, especially at home. Let's see how he reacts to his emotion here in Boston Garden. You have not seen as much as the rah-rah and the fist pumping here as you do at home. In fact, the last time that Dennis Rodman was here, remember he shot 2 air balls when he was at the...
Boston's gone to too deep in their bench now. Rodman backs in against Bird. Detroit playing excellent man-to-man defense. Day from 14. Darren Day. Bird on the double team. There's a mix-up between Seasting and Vincent. Bird gets it all the way across to Vincent. Shot clock to 7. Great feed to Larry Bird from Sam Vincent. Boston's biggest lead of 11. Vinnie Johnson found himself open, and he drills the line drop.
Been out of the ball game.
John Sally, the post-up turnaround from
Sally. Detroit did what you're supposed to do, dumping in and make him pay.
Rodman over the back of Bird for the foul.
Dennis Rodman is a very quick player. Bird using his strength here gets good low post position. Rodman's going to try to circle him, come around on the baseline, but Larry Bird using his body forced the rookie to foul him.
Darren Day found himself in trouble in the paint. Brings it back out again.
I was wrong. McHale came in for Roberts.
Sam Vincent. Horn and McHale kind of stay down at the other end. Sally rebounds but misses Bird's back. Two-shot foul. Sam Vincent will go to the line. You mentioned Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas with only 4 points in this game.
We remember in game 1, Isaiah shot 6 for 24 in this building, came back in game 2 with a big ball game. We had 3 flurries in a row when neither team got anything out of it. They both expended a lot of energy. And finally, Sam Vincent took the ball to the basket and drew the foul.
Mahorn just picked up his 3rd personal foul, a very significant one. Had to go to the bench. It's Rodman and Sally, Lambeer, Vinnie Johnson, Isaiah Thomas on the floor right now, and Adrian Dantley is set to check back in.
Basket, and at 6'4", he still was able to put the ball in over the bigger Boston front line. That's a set play off the backboard.
What a beauty! Johnson bounces it to Bird.
That was a set play. Bird was fronted, and they bounced the ball off the backboard. A pass, that's something you work on. That's a great play. Houston used to run that all the time with the 2 big guys.
Now there came Parrish for the double team. Dantley takes it out. Day's playing Dantley right now. Dantley gives away about an inch on Day. Isaiah Thomas driving pass. Bird blocks it. The shot clock. Vincent got 4 points while he was in there. 2 free throws and a hoop. Isaiah Thomas with the feed. Rodman with the basket. Detroit playing on a hot streak at the moment. Tried to get it to Rodman, tipped away by the Boston inside people. Dennis Johnson's fouled as he drives past Lambeer. It'll be a two-shot foul.
Robert Parrish on this loose ball. Boy, he cracked an elbow up there at Dennis Rodman.
Field goals and free throw attempts, that's been the difference. What a drive by Isaiah Thomas. Johnson will reverse to Ainge for a three-pointer. Misses this one, but he's still 2 out of 3. Parrish has it tipped away by Vinnie Johnson. Has Dantley in the corner, who takes it inside. Adrian Dantley.
Ball looking to get out and run with. There's an isolation with Dantley, and they should be able to swing it around and get somebody an open shot. It's supposed to be Lambeer on the baseline.
And he did get it. He missed it. Darren Day kept it alive. Behind the back to Bird. Darren Day. Oh, my, oh, my. Well, that's one of the prettier plays you'll see in the 1987 playoffs. A timeout on the floor with 3:46 remaining in quarter number 2, and Darren Day from UCLA.
Here's that last play when Larry Bird was fronted in the post. He's going to be fronted in the post. They're going to throw the ball off the backboard right down the gut to him. He's going to get it and lay it in. Let's take a look at it. Low post position, Dennis Rodman fighting him for position. DJ off the glass. Larry Bird right there for the pass, and he scores. That's a set play, and they executed it to perfection.
Lambeer into Dantley. Past Parrish. Parrish gets him from behind. Parrish came to help him. That gave him the reverse and the opportunity for the drive and the feed. Isaiah Thomas to Rodman.
Right through the defense and spotting the Rodman. That's twice he's got Rodman layups off that play.
Now Bird with 15 on the shot clock. All the way to Ainge from the baseline. Big bucket by Danny Ainge, 4-2. The lead had been cut to 2. Down to Parrish. Inside, over the double team, he's fouled. Looked like Dennis Rodman got him, and that's who gets the foul, is Dennis Rodman.
Boy, Larry Bird really working hard off the ball. He's bumping Bird. You see all the contact. Bird gets himself out on the wing. The ball is dumped into Parrish, and then Rodman coming over to try to give help.
By Darren Day. Parrish shot it off rhythm, and Detroit keeps dodging the Boston bullet. Boston had a chance to get this lead about to 10, but Detroit just hung in there. They come back, and the lead has been cut now to 3.
Robert Parrish was very tentative jumping off that left ankle that time. You could see him. He did not take it. Normally, he would try to dunk that ball. He very gingerly tried to shoot that shot.
Nice play by Darren Day. It doesn't fall. The tip by Parrish. He can't get it to fall, and Parrish takes Lambeer to the ground with a right forearm.
The security guards are out on the floor right now, too.
Well, they had said it was only a matter of time till somebody did this.
Let's watch. You see a left elbow there. Does Parrish get him in the left? I mean, whoa, boy. I couldn't see what. Underneath the basket here, Lambeer and Parrish going for the rebound, and Robert Parrish just two right left to the face of Bill Lambeer. Let's see what happens here now. What's going to be the call?
Well, Lambeer was fined $5,000 for his action against Bird in Detroit. Bird fined $2,000. And a lot of people have said around the league that sooner or later, because of Lambeer's physical reputation, that sooner or later somebody was going to clobber him. Whether it's deserved or not is for somebody else to judge. Darren Day picks up a foul, and we understand that Robert Parrish is not going to be ejected. That's what my information says. He is still on the floor.
Now, I mean, something had to be called on Robert Parrish. That's got to be a punching foul or something. I don't know what the deal is here, but Robert Parrish just hit him in the face twice. There's got to be something. That's got to be more than just a foul on Darren Day. And I'm not trying to choose sides, but watching the game or watching the replay, that was 2 punches to the face.
It is really hard to believe, considering what has happened in the history of this series, that flagrant forearm by Robert Parrish, whether it was deserved or not, is beside the point for what I'm saying. Parrish does not even get called for a foul. The foul was called on Day prior to that play.
That was not
Thomas
right.
shoots.
That was not right. Lambier should have shot 2 free throws. There should have been a technical, should be a punching foul, something, but there had to be something called. It's like it never even occurred. That's not right.
Well, we'll keep our eyes on these two to see what will happen. Parrish doesn't get the bounce. Rebound, Dantley. Isaiah throwing it. He was aware of the clock. Dantley wasn't. At the end of the half, and oh, what a half it's been. Lambier and Parrish walking out beside each other over there. We'll keep our eyes on them. You see they're like one right in front of the other. Now they're separated. I'd hate to be the man in the middle. We'll be back here to Boston Garden with Charlie Neal right after this for the Detroit Pistons. We're underway. Third quarter, Game 5. Eastern Conference Championship Series. They're tied at 2. Ainge, the great move to the hoop, and the tip in by McHale to Ainge, and the Celtics getting back slowly. Parrish very slowly getting back. McHale with the reverse, and he'll go to the line for a 3-point opportunity. Dennis Johnson on the drive and the lay-in. Puts it to Bird. It's a Boston break. They've got the numbers. Bird. And Boston leads by 9.
Ironically, that's exactly the same score that Detroit led by in the third quarter of Game 2, 65-56, when they had to call it, when Boston had to call a timeout. But Bird, under control, takes the ball to the baseline. Little feathery jump shot to put his team up 9. It's so...
Detroit still hasn't scored in over 2 minutes of the second half.
They're running a lot of isolations right now. Not good ball movement. Isaiah got that one to go to
Parrish. That's the open Johnson. They reverse it to Ainge. Here's a 3-pointer. Bird tipped it to McHale.
What a presence of mind. What a great play. With his left hand, tips it to Kevin McHale for a layup. Great play.
Boston by 9. 9 minutes to go, third quarter. Ainge behind the back. Here comes Benny Johnson. Ainge finger rolls it home. Boston goes up by 11. A 9-2 Boston run. Lambier and McHale fighting for position on the inbound play. Official Jess Kersey had to go in there to separate them. They get it to McHale. The fall away goes. Detroit trailing by 7.
They're going to go right to Mahorn. That could be the 5th foul on McHale. That's what
it's on McHale. That's 5. Good call, Doug Collins. Now Casey Jones has no other option but to go to the bench. Madden over to talk to the scorer's table. Let's see what happens here. Kite is going to check in.
Well, Kevin McHale ruled with bumping him in the back. 5th foul. Kite.
Lambier from 18. Cans it.
I want to tell you one thing. You got to give Bell.
Isaiah Thomas off the glass. Against Lambier. Dumars did a great job of cutting off the release pass. Parrish wanted.
Comfortable down there, even against the smaller Larry Bird.
Bird gets a 3-pointer. Bird can't hit. Throw the ball in the ocean for about 4 possessions. Then he goes down and gets a big one as Dantley fouls him and he gets a 3-point opportunity.
Well, the difference was he took it into about 12 feet. And right now Larry Bird is not making his perimeter shot, but when he gets inside about 12, 13 feet, and he's able to shoot the ball up over Adrian Dantley, I think you might see them go more into the post. This is a game where you might not see a whole lot of in the second half, maybe to give the veterans a well, there's Bird in the post again.
With a left hand, and Doug Collins, you called it. They've posted Bird down there, and here's where Boston's going to have trouble matching up on Larry Bird.
They're going to try to force Chuck Daly's hands to get Dantley out of the ball game, and now come in probably with Rodman. So now the tables are turned. Dantley, the offensive player for Detroit, is going to be forced out of the ball game.
Mahorn picked up the 4th. They're going to sit him down. and leave Dantley in, but your point is still the same, Doug. No question in my mind, Rodman will go to Bird defensively.
And Adrian Dantley will go to Darren Day.
So two
roll, Isaiah Lambier. Lambier will roll out for the jump shot.
There it is, and get it.
That's that 15th foul. He's going to be smart and try to take it right inside where he can get fouled.
Dennis Johnson over the 7-footer John Sally. Dantley isolated on Day. There's that spin, the turnaround. Dantley, oh, what a game he's had. Bird 7 out of 7 from the line in this game. Boston 83-77, 83-79.
Roll again. This time Vinny takes it to the hoop.
Blocked, Parrish, but then Sally comes back with the jam, the rookie.
The play a while ago, John Sally taking to the basket. A great block by Parrish, but Sally recovers and goes up strong and dunks the basketball.
Into Parrish, tipped away, Dantley. Thomas.
Can they take the lead?
Vinnie Johnson, and Detroit has the lead for the first time. Bird against Rodman. Doesn't get the three-point opportunity, draws another foul, however. And it is Rodman's foul. Rodman has 4, Sally has 4, Mahorn has 4 for Detroit. Those are significant numbers. Only one player really in significant foul trouble for, make that 2, for Boston. McHale has 5, and Day has 4. Vinnie Johnson limping off the floor.
It looked like he banged his knee on that last fast break as he dished off. I think he maybe banged knees with a player.
Bird perfect from the free throw line tonight. That's his 8th free throw. He has 24 points. Dantley leads all scorers with 25. Fred Roberts in for Parrish. Last 26 seconds of the third quarter.
Well, Detroit should try to run it down and get the last shot. A lot of times they try to isolate high outside with Isaiah Thomas. Let him handle the ball on the...
12 minutes of basketball remaining. Boston 86, Detroit 85. What a playoff series. Here's how Vinnie Johnson injured, I think, his knee, Doug.
Yeah, he banged the knee right there with Isaiah Thomas or Vincent, it looked like, as they came through. And they cannot have Vinnie out of the ballgame in the fourth period. He's their offense coming off those screens down the crunch time. And right now, he's still limp. That's the kind of shot you want right there.
Lambier had it, couldn't get it. So Lambier misses following the Bird miss. Both of them had a chance to give their teams a lift there and couldn't do it. Boston continues to lead by 1, 11 minutes to go in this ball game.
Looks for Mr. Bird. Watch him. He's going to slide around. He'll come off the screen. And you've got to be aware of him at all times.
He came off the screen, but they get it to Seasting. And he misses the perimeter jumper. Seasting, Roberts, Dennis Johnson, Day, and Bird in there for Boston right now. Here's Lambier from the outside again. Missing again. Bird rebounded. Rodman for Detroit. Bird just threw that one up. Now Detroit running.
Oh my, what a move by Dennis Rodman. Get out of this.
Look at the football movement. And 5 shots in the third quarter. Bird fades away and hits one from about 15. Tense this game is. Vinnie Johnson on a great drive, and Parrish goes down with his ankle.
Parrish coming over. He's trying to give up. Watch his left ankle. Oh, he steps on John Sally's foot. I'd say, what a bad break.
John Sally with a nice feed to Dennis Rodman, the two-hand jam, and all of a sudden, it is a 5-point Detroit lead there. Look at Dennis Johnson. He kept that alive. Bird's open. McHale with a pass. And the foul. Let's check carefully to see who this foul is on.
Kevin McHale spotting Larry Bird underneath. Right here, Rodman makes a rookie mistake. When he hears the whistle, he should have grabbed him. He let him finish the shot. And when you hear that whistle, Bob, you got to grab him. You can't let him get 3.
Now Rodman with 5.
Let him get 2, but don't let him get 3.
Bird has 3'd him to death here.
They have 2 shot blockers, Rodman and Sally.
Bird for 3. No, only 2. He was stepped on the line. Boston can take the lead again. Bird finds Johnson. He penetrates over Lambier off the glass. Parrish is there to put it and miss it. Lambier to Johnson. Detroit running, and Parrish is down again. Sally with the tip in. Pass. Shot clock to 6. Johnson over McHale. Oh my! Vinnie Johnson over the 6'11" Kevin McHale. Boston trailing now by 4. McHale finds Day open. Gets the layup and the foul. A chance to pull to within one for the Celtics. The Celtics know that if they cannot win here, they have to go back to Detroit on Thursday.
Well, Kevin McHale got the double team, and nobody picked up Darren Day. John Sally turned his back, and he was playing Bird. He's the weak side man. He's got to pick up the cutter. He's the only man that can see him coming, and that's John Sally has fouled out of the game. They're now coming back to Rick Mahorn,
who's got 5 fouls. But Sally played very well defensively, except on that example.
He sure did, but when you're on the box that time, you've got to be able to rotate over and pick up.
Lambier has it batted away by Day. What a defensive play for Day, and a foul in the backcourt.
Bill Lambier made a sluggish pass. He just put the ball up for grabs. Darren Day got a piece of it, knocked it loose.
Day with a big free throw, and he goes to the line again. It's tied at 99. See the marks of war on Bill Lambier.
Darren Day was the hero in Milwaukee in Game 4.
101-100. Detroit, McHale, but they force him out high. Shot clock to 9. In the post, he's fouled. He'll go to the line. Foul on the part of Detroit sends Boston to the line. Celtics down by 1.
He's going back in now with Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah will come in for Dumars.
We're going to have a whale of 2 minutes here.
You know, the interesting thing now in this ball game, Detroit has their best offensive team on the floor. They've got Isaiah, Benny, Dantley, Lambier, and Mahorn. They've got their best offense, but it's not their best defensive team. And that could cause them problems as they come down the...
Lambier, Thomas, and Rodman with 5. Sally's already fouled out. Day has fouled out for Boston, and McHale has 5. Nobody else with more than 3 for the Boston Celtics. Now, there's Bird off the screen from the corner. Big basket by Larry Bird. That's a 2-pointer. Detroit by 3 with 1:13, and Bird has 36. And after the shooting slump, Doug Collins, Larry Bird, with the confidence born of the star he is, hits the long-distance jumper.
Let me tell you something about great shooters and great scorers. They are never in slumps. They're going to keep shooting it, and Larry Bird, he's going to come across, he's going to set a screen, and then he fades back to the corner. Mahorn with a hand in his face, nothing but the bottom of the mat.
So Boston has 1 timeout remaining. Detroit has 2 timeouts remaining in this game. 1:01, exactly a minute remaining. Boston by 1. Here's Bird against Mahorn. Ainge from the top of the key. Big bucket by Ainge. It rattled home. Lambier answers for Detroit.
On the free throw line.
10 on the shot clock. 9, 8, Bird down low. Misses. Mahorn rebounds and calls timeout with 27 seconds to go in this game. We might say here, I want to point something out. 27 seconds as you look at this rebound. 27 seconds to go in the game, and 23 seconds on the shot clock for Detroit. 1 ticked off. He does make the pass along the sideline.
We got Isaiah Thomas out on the top of the floor against Seaston.
16 seconds. Seaston right in his face. Thomas with a very big bucket. Game. Only 2 points in the 4th quarter, though. He's been ridden with 5 fouls. Bird will inbound. 17 seconds remaining. Mahorn talking to Bird right now. He's right in front of here talking to Bird. Into Dennis Johnson.
They're going to run a flare for Bird coming off the McHale screen.
There's Bird with the ball against Mahorn.
He'll take it to the hoop. You can bet. He's going to try to draw a foul.
It's blocked. And Seaston hit it off of a Detroit player. No. It is. Here's a disparity in the call. They're going to give the ball to Detroit. Bird steals it. Johnson. Layup Boston. 1 second left. Detroit timeout. 1 second left. Bird steals it and gets it to Johnson at the buzzer. 1 second remaining.
Oh my! What a mistake by Detroit. They should have called timeout and took the ball at half court. They threw a floating pass into Lambier. Bird steals it. Oh, what a mistake. Veteran players cannot make that kind of mistake.
Look at Walton. He thinks it's a missed shot. He thinks the game is over. Seasting had tried to throw the ball off of a Detroit body to get the Boston call. He did not get that. It was Detroit ball, and then, as Doug told you, the mistake on the inbounds play. And with Bird anywhere near you, you can't do it.
You've got to call timeout at worst and regroup. Chuck Daly was signaling for a timeout. They threw a floating pass inbounds. Oh my, what a cardinal mistake. Now 1 second.
108-107 Boston. Game 5 Eastern Conference Championship Series.
I'm not believing that. Oh, man.
Well, the Detroit Pistons have really battled the Celtics, and they deserve a lot of credit. However, remember that Boston had McHale in foul trouble much of the second half. Then, Robert Parrish re-sprained his ankle, had to leave the floor. Darren Day fouled out, and here it is again.
Well, let's watch this. First of all, it's a floating pass. Lambeer does not meet it. Bird picks it off, and then a driving shot by DJ. Man, oh man.
It'll be inbounded at half court by Adrian Dantley. Let's check the matchups. Mahorn's guarded by Roberts. Isaiah Thomas by Ainge. Bird is on Lambeer. McHale waving those long arms. Lambeer out of bounds. Boston will win this game. The buzzer sounds just as the ball goes out of bounds. There was less than a second remaining on the tick of the clock, and Detroit's valiant effort comes up a point short on a critical inbounds mistake. Boston's Larry Bird picked off the pass, got it to Dennis Johnson. He hit the clutch layup, and Boston wins at 108-107 to take a 3-2 lead in the Eastern Conference Championship Series. Back with a player of the